Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to live session um, on how to begin preparing for IAS IPS examination. Many times, first, the moment you started, you started having an idea as to exactly that I wanted to prepare for IAS, IPS, or UPSC examination, any competitive examination. The first important thing that you always be confused is how to actually start, because yes, for every examination there will be different methodology, there will be different plans, there will be, I mean, it is not same. Suppose if you want to prepare for cat exam, the methodology will be different. If in case if you want to prepare for your regular exams, the methodology will be different. If you want to prepare for engineering entrance, the methodology is different. If you're preparing for IIT, JEE, methodology is different. So similarly, since most important and most coveted examination in the country, which is being conducted every year, that is UPSC Civil Services examination, which will select candidates for IAS, IPS, and IFS, and other very prominent courses. So the first important thing in this section, I want to bring it to you, how exactly a person for the first time, if in case you want to start preparing for IAS, how exactly you can actually start preparing for IAS. That is the thing. So let's quickly start moving on. The first important thing, when you have decided, maybe the first important thing is how many people are actually appearing for this UPSC Civil Services examination. More than 11 lakh people every year will compete for this examination. And how many people might be taking a coaching? Almost 50% of the people are not taking coaching. I mean, out of total 100% candidates who are actually appearing for civil services examination, half of the students will not be going for coaching at all. And maybe several reasons. Maybe some people can't afford coaching fee, or some people, I mean, they're most, I mean, they have some idea, they have got some basic guidance, or some people are very talented, very clever, and they have come from, let's say, sometimes IIT background, or good schools, or good universities background, etc., etc. That is, I mean, that might be one reason why some people do not opt for coaching. Okay, whatever. So whether you go for a coaching or you don't go for a coaching, trust me, this session I want to tell you, I'm trying to take you as a neutral person. Maybe you are interested in joining in a coaching, or you're not interested in joining in a coaching, whatever it is. First of all, you are supposed to have a great idea, I mean, complete thorough idea about the syllabus of UPSC. This you can get it from online, any sources, right? Otherwise, if in case you join the coaching centers will give you, otherwise online there are many sources where you can actually get know the syllabus. So first important, it is not about the knowledge that you actually needs to gain if you want to go, if you want to write this examination. It is basically the syllabus. Knowing the syllabus will reduce half of your tension. Otherwise, what happens many a times, the moment you hear about this examination, IAS, IPS, you end up reading so many books, and you will start gathering so many sources of information, sources of books. Different people keep telling you different things, and different books, different materials, etc. So you will get confused. So first thing is, you have to, if you go to UPSC website also, you will find out the syllabus. So make sure that you know the syllabus completely. If you do not know the syllabus completely, I don't think so your preparation is going to go well. Okay, that is very important. And apart from knowing the syllabus, so the moment you start knowing, suppose how much is to be covered in history, how much is to be covered in Indian economy. Basically, there are 5 areas here in general studies preliminary examination of UPSC. You will find 5 core areas where maximum number of questions would be coming. That is history, that is geography, economy, polity, current affairs. So five. These five. I mean, there's a science and technology, environment, ecology, etc. There are many other miscellaneous things, but those things, questions could be very less. But main topics, Indian history, world, I mean, history, all types, medieval, ancient, modern, etc. You have got Indian economy, you have got polity, you have got geography, you have got current affairs. So questions vary. Like sometimes each section you might have 20 questions to 25 questions, but whatever it is, you are supposed to basically ensure that you have a clear idea as to what exactly is the syllabus. Once you know the syllabus, you also have to touch upon how actually on that particular syllabus or in that particular subject questions were asked. If you do not know how the questions were asked, it's going to be very difficult for you to, imagine and study, because otherwise you will end up skipping something, you will end up reading something unnecessarily without even knowing how exactly the questions are going to be. So first important thing is know the syllabus completely before you start preparation, and also find out what kind of questions, how the questions were asked in the past, and those previous question papers will definitely give you a fair idea. As when you are reading only, you will understand how exactly and what exactly is to be read. Clear? Next one. Once you know the syllabus, the next important thing is, where are you currently? Suppose if you're pursuing a degree, that is, you're in a graduation first year, then you have got down the line 3 years. So 3 years plan you have to prepare. Understood? If in case you are in second year graduation, then you have got 2 years, then 2 years plan. If in case you are in third year, nobody told you about this course and you have not decided when you were there starting graduation or pursuing graduation, you have decided to go ahead with, let's say, when you are in final year degree, you wanted to prepare, then you have got 1 year plan. So always have a plan, in the sense what? Simply speaking, I have history, economy, polity, and geography and current affairs. There are 5 major areas on which you're going to be tested in general studies, right? So therefore, you need to first, you already came to know the syllabus, then you have to first plan timetable. You have to prepare daily how much of time I'm supposed to spend on current affairs for the next 1 year, how much of time I have to spend on learning history, how many days, like this month completely history I will learn. Let me not worry about other things. Next month, let me go for economy. Next month, let me go for, like this, 12 months plan. If in case you don't have 12 months in your hand, at least 9 months if you have it, that is more than sufficient. So depending on how much of time, suppose if you've got longer period of time, daily 3 hours, if you could start spending on this, like 1 hour compulsorily current affairs and 2 hours any standard book or a subject, if you start reading, I think that will help you a lot. So unless and until you have a pakka plan and preparation plan, timetable, etc., so do not start preparing. You can't have dreams and try to achieve this unless and until you actually do something every day for this particular task. You already have decided mentally that yes, I have to become IAS, IPS. Then first of all, you have come to know the syllabus. You already have seen the questions. You know, after knowing the question papers, the intensity of asking questions, the depth of the syllabus and subject, what kind of questions they're asking, right? After knowing all these things, prepare. Never ever try to go away from the timetable, no matter what. If in case on any particular day, whatever timetable that you have prepared, if in case you could not follow it, you are supposed to get back and compensate it immediately. Next important thing is, after knowing the syllabus and after preparing the timetable, it is very important, it is indispensable in fact, to know the books, the sources. Always remember, if you want to have a grip over the syllabus of history, economy, polity, geography, etc., you must first go through fundamentals. Then the question comes, where are we supposed to, where will we get fundamentals? Fundamental knowledge of every concept is very, very important, because if you start reading a standard book without having a fundamentals, you will face problem. And if you don't read standard book having fundamentals, you will lose the grip of that subject, because questions here are prepared not to know your knowledge, but to know your logic, and your entire personality is going to be tested here. That means for that you need to have a basic, you need to divide the book sources into two. One, fundamental, the books, the sources which will give you fundamental knowledge, and the sources which will give you advanced knowledge, so that you will be able to answer not only questions in prelims examination, but also in the mains examination that is there in the second level. UPSC has got 3 levels, that is preliminary examination, mains examination, then interview. Understood? So best important suggestion I would like to give you, from 6th standard to 12th standard, NCRT books you have to buy first. That is the first important step that any IAS aspirant has to do. Whether you start at 10th standard level, whether you start at 11th class or 12th class or graduation level, whichever level you have started, first, for the first 6 months or 3 to 6 months, make sure you spend quality time on reading and understanding fundamentals from NCRT 6th to 12th standard. Yeah. I mean, that is the first thing. So you asked me one simple question, how to start. Then I'm telling you, first gather NCRT books. Sir, NCERT books, there are so many subjects. No, I told you, for preliminary examination, after knowing the syllabus, you know what subjects you're supposed to read. Like you need to study history, you need to study geography, you need to study economics, you need to study polity, you need to. So there are some four basic areas: science and technology, basically, environmental, ecology. So you know the syllabus very clearly. Once you know the syllabus, then you go from sixth standard to 12th standard NCERT books related to that syllabus which you have already gone through. Like so and so history is there in that syllabus. So have basics in that first. Yes. So I suggest any beginner in IAS IPS examination first you have to focus on NCERT books. Yes. Are you learning something? Yes. Next one, make a note. Now, I started preparing for NCERT, or I started preparing for standard books. Once I finished my NCERT books, then I have to pull standard books. So first thing, you begin with NCERT. Next thing, we will give you in the next video. I will give you for each, like history, what are the standard books, polity, what are the standard books, and economy, what are the standard books. Like this, I will give you next video. Don't worry. But now, once you start preparing any book, whether it is NCERT or a standard book, whatever it is, you have to start making the notes. Because what happens every now and then, I mean, every time you want to refer that particular concept or a chapter or a topic, you can't go back to the same textbook and read again. You need to have a summary notes of everything what you learned. How to make a notes, the big question comes. How to make a notes is dependent on how they're asking questions. If you know very well the nature of questions, the methodology of asking questions, the methodology of testing students in the examination, if you already know what kind of questions are asked, that means you need to spend some time on previous exam papers. If you could read, if you could go through at least 4 or 5 years question papers, just a glance, if you go through, you will understand what kind of concepts they are actually insisting on in the examination. Got it? So what you're supposed to do when you're making a note, since you already know the syllabus, since you already know the questions, you have already seen the pattern of questions, you have already seen what kind of concept is actually being tested, then you can start preparing the notes. And this has to be the main thing which will help you to prepare for future this thing. Understood? Yes. Next one, never say no to revision. So it is not so NCERT books you started, standard books you started, then the question comes here, did you make a notes? If in case you did not make a notes, you are not preparing for civil services examination. And you already had prepared notes, and if you are not revising that notes, weekly ones, monthly ones, fortnightly ones, like this, you need to set a timetable for that also. Okay, whatever I read today, I'm going to revise this after 15 days. Whatever I read today, I'm going to revise this next month. 1 or 2 days in a month you have to allocate exclusively for revising the notes that you have made. That is basically meant for keeping you in touch with the syllabus that you have actually covered. If you did not make notes and you do not revise that notes what you have actually made, you are not absolutely preparing for IAS examination. You are preparing some board exams or something like this. Nowadays even board exams also is not that easy. Like you can have weekly revision, monthly revision, half yearly revision, quarterly revision, something like this. Like when you're in the school, how school people will conduct examination in that way. Okay. Next one, build a foundation. So most of the students in civil services examination, what they do, they go for advanced books first of all. They try to read the stand. They will immediately get excited. Somebody, like after the session like this, they will go to the market and order all the standard books and start reading standard book. I'm telling you, standard book is a standard book. No doubt you have to read it, but unless you have fundamentals, never go for reading this. Don't do that. So for this, if you really want to have a foundation in every subject, if you really want to introduce yourself to the basic terms and terminologies and structure of the syllabus, you have to start your journey in UPSC reading NCERT 6th standard to 12th standard based on the subjects that are being asked in UPSC preliminary examination. Because if you don't start from the scratch, what happens? You will start, I mean, first line you see, never frog jump. Do not come to conclusion, no, this is easy. No, no, you don't know. If you could look at the preliminary exam questions in UPSC, most of the questions people are committing mistakes when they're so easy, where examiner is expecting fundamentals. That means we skip the fundamentals, we jump off, and we will focus on standard things, because we always have a what do you call apprehend. We always have a conception or a misconception that okay, the standard version will be important, the standard concept is important, not the fundamental. No, no, that is not so. Have strong fundamentals. 2 more minutes. I'm going to close. Never forget to read newspaper. I said history, economy, geography, polity. The fifth one is what? Current affairs. History, economy, polity, geography. What is the fourth one? Current affairs. Close to 30 to 40 marks worth you will get questions, because in UPSC preliminary examination, each question carries 2 marks. When each question carrying 2 marks, I'm telling you, just imagine one question makes how much of difference. Hell lot of difference it makes. You are supposed to read newspapers daily. Then the question comes, which newspaper? As a beginner, do not spoil your brain and mind reading unnecessary newspapers, listening to unnecessary useless channels and newspapers. It has been tested over the years that these two newspapers are very highly standard, which will give you neutral opinion for you. Because normally the objective of news channels and newspapers must be that they have to give you the news, they should not give their own opinion to you. Unfortunately, most of the channels in India and most of the newspapers in India, they always try to give their opinion, because every newspaper, every channel, many a times you could see they belong to a political parties. So how to have a standard opinion? So you need to read standard newspapers. Hindu is like, I'm telling you, it's like a main heart and soul for UPSC examinations. And you also need to know, first of all, in Hindu newspaper what to read. So for that reason, you need expert guidance. Like we at BRICS IAS Study Circle, normally we always tell students every day we send an SMS, we send a WhatsApp message saying that, boss, this is what yours is. On page number, so and so article is there, this is meant for examination, so read this. That is where actually coaching is required. Coaching is required, not that through coaching everybody will become, because the selection percentage is hardly 1%, right? Or sometimes even 5%. 11 lakh people are appearing. Ultimately, the people who could clear this examination is only 1,000 people now, because the number of vacancies each year could be around 800 to 1,000 these days. So you can say hardly 1%. Got it? So you just imagine now. So you need to be very careful. See there, the Hindu newspaper, Indian Express, Press Information Bureau. Press Information Bureau, they have an app also. What all happenings, government announcement, government programs, important events that are happening across the country will be given by PIB, Press Information Bureau. And we have got, and you need to make notes. And if in case you think so and so is very important, you take the clipping of that, because many articles and editorials which are published in Indian Express and Hindu will help you a lot to answer mains examination essay type questions. One very important thing, remember, when you start reading for preliminary examination, do not simply read exclusively for prelims. I have seen 99% of the students preparing for prelims and think about mains later, and they're not at all clear. Every point, every concept, when you start reading while for prelims, you also think about mains. That means you have to get the knowledge which is helpful for prelims. At the same time, you also must be in a position to make a notes for mains. Okay. Say no to social media. I'm telling you, this is a different examination. IAS, IPS, UPSC, civil services examination, it's completely different examination. It is going to test your personality. It is going to test your character. It is going to test your positive attitude. There are so many variables and characters of a person which is going to be tested. You are supposed to be very, very careful, avoiding yourself involving so much into this social media. I'm not saying nowadays life is all about social media only. You and I cannot escape this. But being a student, being an aspirant of UPSC examination, make sure you try your level best to limit it. That is the so that means, in other words, indirectly on this, I want to tell you that you need to decide what is the priority. So you have a goal, you have a vision. Next 2 years down the line, next 1 year, you want to become an IAS or IPS officer. So you already have a timetable. In that timetable, you should also, apart from gaining the knowledge, you also groom yourself. If you fail to groom yourself, the personality which is suitable for making you as an IAS, IPS, then you will face a lot of difficulties in convincing a person or a panel in interview. Many a times it happens, students have a extemporary knowledge, IIT gold medalist, oh, so many things they will do, but unfortunately they fail to crack the interview because they never focused on grooming the personality, because they were too much involved in social media and getting excited, respond to so many things, and learn negative things. And this will definitely spoil the track completely. Did you not set deadlines? Then you are not ready yet. Always remember, in civil services examination, since the syllabus is very vast and you need to practice a lot, you need to allocate minimum 6 to 7 hours a day. You need to allocate minimum 6 to 7 hours a day. So every day you need to understand, okay, this today I have to finish this. The attitude of setting goals day wise, week wise, month wise, quarterly, half yearly, year, this will definitely increase your focus on this. If you do not do this, how will you focus? How will you reach after 365 days? You have set some vision and you want to reach it, and you don't do anything every day, and you don't review your preparation weekly basis, monthly basis, and you blindly start. It's like, you see, whenever you get time, don't read, please. This is not the examination where students are supposed to read whenever they get time. This is the course where they're supposed to read according to the plan. And today you have set a deadline. No matter what, maybe 1 or 2 hours extra it takes to finish that particular topic or particular concept or particular subject, you must finish this at any cost. Be passionate and keep the high. Always remember, this examination, since the number of people are going to be selected are going to be very less, so it is very important for you to keep up the high spirits. Get yourself motivated, read successful people's stories and listen to successful people. Try to attend some motivation sessions, and do not pay attention to negative talk where people will say that you can't do it. You always have to have that kind of urge to learn. Keep yourself motivated every day and spend some time with good people. Listen to good motivation lectures, because end of the day, what actually is very important, since it's very difficult examination, since it is going to give you a lot of syllabus, since it is a long journey, you must keep your spirit high and be passionate always, and never ever give up. If that is the case, don't start only. That's why this slide clearly says, imagine always on a bigger scale. The moment you started preparing for preliminary examination, you should always imagine that you're going to be an IAS officer, IPS officer, or IFS officer. That's it. You because this happens, what, oh, I came from rural background, oh, I came from Hindi medium background, I came from Telugu medium background, oh, I came from BCom background, I came from BA background, I'm not from IIT, I'm not from business school, I'm not from IIM. Only IIT people, or the people who have come from good schooling background. No, 80% of the students who became IAS have not come from good schools. And recently study was held that almost 30% of the people have come from typical rural background, and they got top 10 ranks. And the students were not very good at what you call 10th standard and plus 1 and plus 2 standard in graduation. They did wonders, they did more miracles, and they got better ranks than the people who have come from other segments. They are the only inspiration for you. That's it. Think about yourself always high, and make sure that you do not insult yourself at any point of time thinking that, oh, I can't do, it is not possible for me, etc. So I'm from BRICS Academy, BRICS IAS Study Circle. We are there at Bangalore and Hyderabad, and we provide coaching for the students who are pursuing graduation, foundation, and we also provide coaching for the people who have already finished their graduation 1 year module. And we have weekend batches. We have several, like foundation we have for the students who are pursuing graduation, and we have regular batches for the students who have already finished their graduation. And we do have weekend batches for the working professionals. And we will first, when you meet us, we will first give you a counseling and tell you what all we expect from you being a student of civil services. Understood? Please do like this channel, and any other, like next video I will come up with the important books which are very important for any civil service student to study. And the next video I keep posting very important motivational videos. Please make sure you click the bell icon and subscribe this channel. This will help you giving you latest updates, and this will help you preparing for UPSC examination. All the very best. Take care.